Hey guys, this is going to be my full build guide video for my League Starter Summoner focusing on minion instability. And initially I wanted to do some Raging Spirits, as I call Popcorn Raging Spirits, but I ended up adding Skeletons because of the Arendel's Embrace Maze. In the end it ended up being pretty, well, very cheap build and pretty efficient. It's not the highest damage, just keep in mind it's very cheap build and it was meant to be for the league start and not top tier end game build. But I did try tier 16 map. I don't have Atlas properly unlocked. I just bought one tier 16 just to see how it goes, and it was fine. The farming was just fine. This is only level 87, so I could get more levels, and I will probably get a bit more levels, but I'm not gonna be changing anything much. Maybe just get another jewel and that's gonna be it, so may as well do the build guide video. So this is probably gonna be a pretty short intro. I don't really have anything much to say. If you want very cheap build, especially for the league start, this may be the build that you're looking for or not. So maybe I'll just jump into my items and the links and passive skill tree. So I'm using Arendel's Embrace to mostly for skeletons to cover enemies in ash, providing another 20% more damage. Also has a bit of minion damage, also all attributes, which is nice, and makes skeletons pop faster. It only takes like a second, maybe even less. So next, pseudo 6-link helmet, which is cheaper. It's always cheaper to get the pseudo 6-link helmet than to try to 6-link your body armor. So I have this helmet with minion life and immolate and very high life roll. Body armor, I bought this one also for like a couple of years, just with very high life roll, because I already fixed my resistances on other gears. So I have a good life roll on body armor, and I just 5 linked it. Then Malagaros Lanzi with Necromantic Aegis lowers my minions elemental resistance, making them pop faster. Because of course I'm using Infernal Legion. Gloves, nothing special. I try to get just cover my resistances and decent amount of life. Boots, same deal, resistances, some attributes if you need, movement speed of course. On the belt I got Aspect of the Spider. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, as long as you cover resistances, get enough life pool, and well, Aspect of the Spider is synergized pretty well with this. Amulet, again, life, resistances, and movement speed is not necessarily craft. Also I did the Anointed thing, and I got... There are better options if you can afford, like getting, for example, Soul of Steel or Inexorable, but the cheapest option I got was this one. It gives me a bit more movement speed, cast speed if you use movement skill recently, cooldown and recovery speed for movement skills. You can also, very cheap option is to get Diamond Skin, especially if you need more resistances. It's basically free, 12% to all elemental resistance for free. Almost for free. It's like 1 or 2 hairs if you need on Amulet. Then this ring, I don't know, I got it at like level 50 and still using it. Another ring on life, some resistances. The anointment doesn't matter for this. And yeah, that doesn't need anything more special. Just basically get Malagaros Lens, which is like 1 hairs. Arendel's Embrace, when I bought it, it was like 1 hairs. I'm not sure about it now, but it shouldn't be expensive. Tavokai Amulet would improve the SRS popping, SRS explosion damage, but it's not needed. So the links, main links: Summon Skeletons linked with Infernal Legion, of course, Combustion and minion damage. Combustion lowers enemy fire resistance. Also in the helmet I have minion life and immolate, so they explode, they ignite, they lower enemy fire resistance because of combustion. They also trigger the immolate, dealing more damage. Also cover enemies in ash because of scepter. Some Raging Spirits linked with Infernal Legion, minion damage, minion life, and Unleash. Unleash is kind of quality of life improvement. I do like using it. On a 6-link, I don't know, you could add like concentrated effect for more damage. Next I got, let's see, Ray Spectres. So Spectres are another source of debuff, I guess, and some protection. I am using Undying Evangelist. You can get them from Act 3, Dominus Tower. So they are linked with Blood Magic. I'm not sure if you need Blood Magic. People said that you should link it with Blood Magic so that we could keep recasting it, but because minions do use their own mana, and if they run out we don't cast the skill, but I'm not sure if you need Blood Magic. So we are linked also with Elemental Army and Meat Shield. This is to make them tankier and to counter the Malgaros Lens, and also Elemental Army provides like a mini fire exposure, because I do have one jewel which adds flat fire damage to minions, which makes them deal fire damage the highest and apply fire exposure, which is lowering enemy fire resistance by 10%. They try to protect me, and they also debuff enemies, increasing my minions ability damage. Next I got cast when damage taken linked with Desecrate and Flash Offering, and it should be Convocation as well, but I forgot to add it and to recolor it. It's not really that important. Or you could have Convocation on a self-cast, I guess, if you don't mind clicking 5 things. Got Clarity, I got Flame Dash, and Skitterbots. Skitterbots are amazing. I already did a full video, almost full video just about them. Actually 2 of them. Yeah, Skitterbots, use it. Also got Blighting with Curse on Hit and Flammability. Oops. And I do have Elemental Equilibrium, so it triggers Elemental Equilibrium and lowers enemy fire resistance even more. So for Blast, nothing special. Bleed removal. Actually, you maybe not even need bleed removal, because you got Bone Armor from Ascendancy point, from Ascendancy node. From this one, the buff also grants immunity to bleeding. So you don't actually need bleed removal flask, which is nice, but Bone Armor is like level 20 Steel Skin. Unfortunately, you cannot link anything with it, so you're gonna have to manually cast it, which is fine, I guess. It did save me multiple times. Then for more defenses, I got Granite and Quartz Flask. Yeah, now let's go into the passive skill tree. So, Ascendancy nodes first. I got, of course, Mindless Aggression, Bone Barrier, I believe I got, yeah. And only then I got Unnatural Strength, and from Uberlab I was very lucky. I found 6 Uberlab trials, and all of them were different, so I managed to unlock Uberlab very early. And from Uberlab I got this one. It's kind of conditional, and while mapping it does help a lot, because it provides you some damage mitigation and increases your minion damage as well. You don't have to consume the corpse, and that's why I have Desecrate, higher level Desecrate, which was supposed to be linked, yeah. Higher level Desecrate when casting damage taken, to be able to manually cast it. So that against the boss, to have some corpses to benefit from this node. But I kept forgetting that. Maybe I should have had it on cast when damage taken. And then from the passive skill tree, I did experiment a bit, and actually, despite this build wanting to lower your enemy, to lower your own minion resistance, I did take some nodes that increase minion elemental resistances and even give regen, and I found it to be quite a good balance between minion regen, and because you don't want your minions to explode instantly, and you don't want your minions to explode like after like 3 or 4 seconds. You want them to explode. For skeletons, you can summon them on top of enemies, so it doesn't really matter if they explode instantly or in half a second. They basically explode in like a half a second. But for summon raging spirits, I did wanted them to last a bit longer, to be able to reach the enemies, because I don't have a lot of minion movement speed. You would normally want minion movement speed on rings and amulet, but in this case you don't really need it. I think I have enough. And just getting life, getting some of the new minion nodes like these to increase the AoE. This would be nice as well if you could afford on an amulet anointment to get a bit more minion damage and minion movement speed. So yeah, that would also be nice, but the onslaught, it wouldn't be really useful. Next, I got the usual Righteous Army. Decided not to go to Spiritual Aid because I don't deal damage myself, and this node, for 2 points, it doesn't give enough benefits. I got more life, got reduced mana cost. It doesn't really matter how you path through, as long as you get the certain things like minion damage. Minion life is more important than minion damage. So first you get minion life and then minion damage. Of course you get your own life for yourself, and then jewel sockets. On one of the jewel I'm still using from dust, but once you get level 19 plus 2 skeletons, you summon 4 skeletons with 1 click. So you don't really need this one, because currently I can summon 8 skeletons with 1 click. So yeah, without that jewel I could spam the skeletons, but if you just spam while standing, they don't explode, because we don't have enough time to explode. So to avoid making a mistake and resummoning skeletons before we can explode, I'm still using this one from dust. It's also very cheap. And then just getting enough life. I believe I got over 190% life from the passive skill tree, so you want flat life on your jewels. And like I said, you do want some fire damage to your minions because of the mini fire exposure. You would want ideally jewels like these. Flat life to you and then percentage life to your minions. Of course, elemental equilibrium and necromantic aegis. This one is not actually needed, just movement speed and cast speed is pretty nice. And yeah, I believe that's about all. Of course, don't forget minion stability. And I believe I did rush for minion stability when I leveled this build. I went through here, grab these, and then rush to the minion stability, and then get whatever else you want. Like, you're probably not gonna need necromantic aegis because Malagaros lens is, I believe, level 45. So at around level 45, you want to be able to reach necromantic aegis when equip Malagaros lens. Erandel's embrace, I keep forgetting what level is it. It's a difficult place. Well, down on the Borderlands. This one is level 35, so you can actually start using it as soon as possible because it does give damage, especially if you want to level with skeletons. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see